I'm going to do this quick. I went over the Monopoly thing. $8 in bets, 4 and 4, 88 on each side. Hoover Dam, Barack Obama. The buildings, they look like bowling pins. The number, $5 bet and $2 bet, is the Mayan 52, 25, 55, 22. It's life and it's busting out. It also shows of the Mayan, okay, 18 different ways of winning and $20,000. We're just looking at numbers. We don't care about anything else. We can use the D, okay, for the dam. 20,000 D dollars, 18 this dollars, all code. Okay, now we have a total of 121,000. Forget about the zeros. 121, 1111. Then it says you can win $100, 1010. Right away, it's 229.2. Twin Towers again, same situation. Different time of the year, different situation, same situation. The forearm, the 4 men in the $20 bill I just showed you, unless you missed that cassette. But what I'm going to show you now is that, so we have 1111 and we have 1010. So we have an opening of 5 degrees, of 5 minutes and 5 minutes, 1.25 degrees, which is May 25th, May 5th. May 5th. I'm trying to go too quick. I'm trying to get this out. Another thing, if you want to see, I just did. Spirit of 6776, take away from over here, leaves you with a balance of 255.19. 1963. This is my number. This is the number of the 88,000 moons, Barack Obama. This is the egg nest that we are in, 5775, the Hebrew year. There's 1,001 years difference, but don't worry about that. It's the 10, 10, 10, and the one difference to starting off from everything. 10 times 10 is 100, times 10 is 1,000, letter M. 6 and 6 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3. 7 and 8 is 15, 1 and 5 is 6. 7 and 2 is 9. 6 from 7 is 1, 1963. That's when I'm born. Into the 2 times 55, 110 stories on the Twin Towers. 0.19, I'll tell you where I get this from in a minute. 0.19, 0.19 times 1 times 2 times 3 times 5 is 95, plus the egg, which is 15, exactly 210 again. 255 is 1 day after the Twin Towers. 5 and 5 is 10. 2 and 2 is 4. 4th day, 10th month of the 1900 birth of 1963. Doesn't matter. It's my birthday, but it really doesn't matter because I don't know what the truth is. Another thing I want to jump onto is Mark Rodin's number 78, 732. The number I was given when I started my project from the angel in the sky, 7286. But let's put it in order. I put it 7862. And then I multiplied it by 10 so I can bring it up to his area. The difference is 112. 4 moons. The 4 moons, the 4 dice. 28 and 28 is 56, and 56 is 112. 4 moons, 4 months, the number of man. That was the difference, 11.2. 11 times 2 is 22. Bust, and we're out. So the difference between Mark Rodin's number is this way, and mine is this way. If I would take off 56 from his and add on 56 to mine, we have the same number. 2 times 28 is 56. 4 times 14, the Christ in Rubik's Cube. The 4 Rubik's Cube we need to create the game and the corners in Monopoly, the original 4 corners. It's the same concept. 14 and 14. We just have to use the first 14, and we already know in February. First 14, Valentine's, 2 times 14, regarding the 28 days of the moon. The 1 day after the moon when the pregnancy and the water passage came and you came in. Because you got to wait. You're on your side, you jump into the water, you're in between the 2 Rubik's Cubes, you slide all the way down into the middle. And then you begin from there. That's your spirit. Then you got to slide into the other one, when now you hook up the spirit and soul and you're living here. Don't forget, according to the way this all figures out, is somebody in somewhere, it's probably all over the world now, we're spreading out, but most of us that are duplicated are all coming into Asia. When you're day, they're night. When they're night, you're day. When you're sleeping, they're up. When you're up, you're sleeping. You're sharing the spirit. between somebody else. Why? Because down and around and in between and underneath, between the Balkan, New Zealand, the Balkans, New Zealand, we have to never forget Yemen, because there's something about Yemen I just picked up. Yeah, man, I'll be there in a minute. Yeah, man, whoa, man, his man, Yemen. Where was I? I showed you this, the 7-point star over here, the letter R. See this square and the letter R? The letter R has a multitude of values because the letter itself is worth 18. So if you have to go 18 times the O that you see, but that's not an O, when you make that complete, that will turn into a D. This R will turn into a flagpole in which the flag will keep turning around 360 degrees all the way around the pole on the value of 18. The same way as the Twin Towers. Imagine the old vacuum. You know the vacuum cleaners that now clean their own corners? You take one of them with a little putty or rubber and you put it inside. You know that stuff they make, like you see in the movies? You put one on each of the beams, and it doesn't even have to be big. And you can say that it's surveillance. The copper energized metal posts that are inside the beams were used to transfer that energy. I mean, that's the only way I can see the sense of it. What happened, and I can say that, now I'm going to jump off to BP. They were hiding something else. So they let this happen with BP because there was more than this that was happening. I have a funny feeling that they weren't pumping oil out. I think they were pumping oil in. Because if they were pumping oil out, you make a sleeve and you stop it. But when you're pumping oil in, it's not the same thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Pumping it under the ground into an area that you think is water, and once it's under the ground, the ocean is supported by arches that are upside down. That's why there's certain places you can't go in the ocean. And I bet you if you have a boat and you go out too far, I bet you somebody's going to stop you. Or when you look down at your boat and it says, whoa, I'm going north. You ain't going north. You're only going the direction they want you to see. That's why we get lost in the sea. That's why only the sea can bring us home naturally. That's why they put the bottle in the water. A message in a bottle. You ever hear that song? I got to listen to that song again, A Message in the Bottle. Sun's up here. Little guys over here watching, big guys over here, and they're all just watching. So where am I going with this video now? You like this guy over here? The American flags. How each one works. I made a lot of these lately. Then there's the baseball over here. And then the outside baseball that would go over here. The baseball would just be going around and around. Inside. Somehow we might be driving these tracks on this baseball. Driving the track on the baseball. You drive the track, you drive the track, and you drive the track on the baseball, and you draw the track on the baseball. And I'm going to stop when the track ends, okay? I'm just going to, hold on a second. I'm going to just stop when the ball, when it ends, and hold on a second. Wait a second. I already, so you see that black spot? So I'm just going to continue. Okay, and just continue and follow the ball because it never ends. Ball never ends. So you think it's easy to do it that way or not? Where else am I going to go with this? I'm not too quite sure. I showed you that. I showed you this. Few hearts. The bigger of hearts. Zip, and around and around and around. The same scenario. We're in this scenario. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2 in the center. 3, 2, 3. 6, 4, 6. Why? Because now we can turn it this way. Now we're living 1, 2, 3 of 1, 2, 3 of 1, 2, 3. our two legs, our two hands in the air, and we're all tied in by the sides. You see what this is? You remember the elevator? You want to hold it open or closed? These are letter D's, 44. They're all D's. Everything becomes a D at the end. Here. I know I put them backwards, but this is where the train would be, right over here. This is where the train would be, right over here. This is where the train would be, here and here. These are your corners and your corners and your corners. If you really look, I didn't draw them properly, but if you really look over here, this is an L and D. Now you got L and D. 12 and 4 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, and 7 back to the beginning again. The numbers that go along with it, I was going to give you the evaluation. Here's that R I was telling you about before where it goes around the flagpole. It's a letter P. But the ankh, do you remember what the ankh looks like? And then it goes around this way. It's inside the R letter, the only letter that can stand alone. When you put an L inside of it, you have L1C. Power stations up in Quebec, where they power the all that energy out of our dams. Another thing about Monopoly is it says real cash. Like, why would they say real cash? Do they ever have, I don't know how lotteries work in California. I know they had a lot of poker rooms, and when I was there, they were full. They were flooded. Real cash. Monopoly family of scratchers. Scratchers, we're coming up to Christmas. The Grinch stole Christmas. Somebody who scratches their ass. Or, if you read it properly, SCR, Spirit Creation Resident Angel Transmission. Share means it costs a lot of money. CHERS, okay, says hers. So it's her scratch, and put one ball on the table. If you put one ball on the table, you take one ball out of the hole. So you're taking one out to put one on. You build one up to take one down. You get in one train to leave to arrive at another station. Then it says, the arch is my enemy is the fee. What arch? The arch of my Wi-Fi. Where would be the Wi-Fi? What does it mean, Wi-Fi? Warner Brothers, Las Vegas. I'm going to show you why. Because the Warner Brothers signal, okay, is an L and a V together. This is the Warner Brothers sign. It's LV Las Vegas, Warner Brothers. Don't you see the B that's here? Okay, I'll draw it out. I'll draw it out. To B, I'm not drawing the line. I want to show you the aqueducts that are in between. 1, 2 animals that are next to each other. Okay, this is what it looks like, LB. U and U. Western Union, a transfer service, electricity transfer, Hoover Dam. The arch enemy is my arch enemy is the Yemen of the Wi-Fi. I don't know what it means. Then it says over here, cement prefos. Cement prefos. I was in the farming business. And a prefos is before you send it into the next alley. And that's, again, back to a dam, because that's what it is. Except our dam, we have to pump it out, in which in the other dams, it comes down. Fos septic. Septic or skeptics. So it's all coming back to the same thing. Now, the thing is, right, it was the 309th day on Sunday, 310 on Monday, 311 today. Tomorrow is 312, where creation comes into the spirit angle. 123 on your phone is now 312, which is 156. 156 and 156 is 312. The 312th day. 28 and 28 moons, 28 and 28 moons. A full cycle of 4. 4 over 12, 1/3. There's only, okay, there's only left in the month from the 312th day, which is tomorrow. There is 18 days left in this month, and 21 days left in next month. Is 39, the 7th inning stretch, 7th inning. Now 31 and 13 is 44 Barack Obama. 31 was Herbert Hoover. Then it shows over here 3 and 12. 312, well, we're 2 numbers at a time. 3 by 12 is 36, creation R, the arches. A does not exist. It exists in sounds, but there is no A. The only time the A actually exists, I'm going to show you how it works. Just on one road. This is the road leading to the delta corner, out. This is the H. When it's finished, it's an A, all the way down to here when it becomes an H. If it stops here, this is the floodgates. You take this off. The minute you open this up, these two close, unless this turns around and comes in this way. Now you have 2 fault lines that come in on each side because of this. You follow me? The other side of this says C, D, A, ABC, 312. Again, 312th day with 39 to go. 39 is 13, 13, 13, and 1 before, on each cube before she goes, is the 14th cross. 14, 14, 14, 42. Represents 5 and 9, meaning something's coming dead center. Now don't forget, all I do is play with everything. Doesn't mean anything's real. I must find the truth to the left. No good and bad and terrible for us. And then I will find the truth to the right, which tells me what I just said was completely wrong. That way I can understand the in-between of the two and see where it lies more with the numbers. But right now, I'm still going on the same term that, another thing I want to show you, that this in French is called 4/80. It means 4 times 8 and O. Well, again, 4/80 means 88 again with this bill in French. Another thing you got to remember is, look what they did. They capitalized everything in Canada. And if you really want to understand something, this is the 3rd letter. This is the 1st letter. This is the 14th letter. Right away it says the 3 pigs. In pi, it's 3.1415. Well, 3.1, and this is the 14th. 1 and 4 is 5. 1415, the 14th letter, and becomes the 15th letter. ADA, add an angel, add an angle. ADA is 114 days, which is 3 times 38, which is a pig's pregnancy. ADA is Sesame Street. Go look it up. 4114 ABC Sesame Street. See, same street. How long have we been going in this cycle? It's just amazing, because it freaks me out a little bit to even think that any of this can be true, because it's retarded. Here, I'll just show you one of my things of time. You want to see something of time? See that 500, 500, 500? I did that 7 years ago. You see where it says L+4S? Barack Obama. This was done 7 years ago when this whole thing started. The corner board, it's all saying Las Vegas because all the ends are LV, LV. And if you look up and down the crisscross of the tic-tac-toe, it's saying 11, 11, 11. 11, 11, 11 equals 1331, 44. 1331 in years if you want to go that way. I have done paintings and stuff in my apartment in the last 7 years that everything has come to my attention again, meaning a reason for fact. Now, it's pretty much easy in this world, because all you have to say is either A, this is going to happen, B, this is going to happen, C, this is going to happen, or D, this is going to happen. And everybody knows the next time it happens, no matter what, no one's going to believe the kind of people like me. No one's going to even believe that even if it happens, they're going to think it's somebody else because they were made to believe that way. They were made to believe that way. They've been following this. It's insane. How long is it? Because according to everything, everything is perfect all the way back to Noah, 7,286 years ago. 226 years before Noah, that was the time travel of the two eggs, 15 by 15, 225. 22 bust of center. Center splits. 2, 2, and then 5. 4 and 5. 44. 45th president. It's just the same numbers all over again. We just keep repeating them. I mean, was Moses real? Where was everybody? If Moses was real, maybe we were on the other side of an ocean of some sort. Maybe there is a real ocean here somewhere. Maybe we do come out of the water. Where would a spirit lie if it's not in the water? What, it's going to dry out on land? No. Listen to this. Heat will dry up all the water. So it'll rise and it'll fall. Cold will freeze it. It'll freeze forever until the heat comes to bring it back to life. And you're telling me the heat is no good? We only can live under a controlled atmosphere outside of the matrix. It sits, somebody said, what is the pineal gland? Somebody also said, I'm going to try and do this if I could. The cross of Christ and the crossroads. All we keep doing is going down here, around here, around here, up here, around here, around here, down here, around here, around here, up here, around here. And we're always flying on the cross of Christ. And you know what's funny about this picture? Even though it equals to 20, okay, they're always leaving out this part, saying we can't go under the ground. So we're actually going around this way, and all the way up and around this way, and all the way back. The fleur-de-lis. Up and down, 2, out and in, 2, over and out, 2, in the 5 position we go again, 2, 2, 2. 2 and 2 is 4, 2 and 2 is 4, Barack Obama, 5 is in the center, 4, 5, 4. 5 and 4 is 9, 5 and 4 is 20, we have 29. 5 and 4 is 9, same thing on this one, 29.92, 121. The earliest you can get 121 is 29 and 92. 121 is the amount of money they're giving away in these sweepstakes for the Monopoly. One of every 4 winners, they had it in Quebec. Which way out? The only way out, is it through free parking or is it through go? Free parking was in New York. So where's the go? Where is the go in this world? Go to California south, southwest from where I am, you go to Florida. It's a free-for-all in Florida. The old people, they fall into that realm, handing out and signing their names to any stupid thing, buying 649s. Don't they know every time you see a number, that number is dictated inside your head to go with another number that you heard before, that you will mention and think of and see something later that you heard, but all you did is hear and you didn't see a number. But yet in all actuality, tomorrow comes around and, hey, that was a coincidence. No, it's not. You walked yourself into everything you do by the choices you make. You see the way it goes around my head, then it goes around my arm, then it goes around my other arm? Because my feet are keeping me stable on the ground, but my arms are doing all the work. My arms are doing all the creation, as my arms are doing all the destroying, as my mind is creating everything, as my mouth is telling you everything, as my hands are moving. Our first mistake is to make a move. Our first thought is to make a move and keep on thinking. Anything that goes around Taurus, you want to talk about Taurus the bull? You want to talk about Taurus, the way rotation works? If I see it, I'm going to know it. because it's the same rotation all the time. All you have to find is the proper angle, the North Star. And I'm going to do that with Rodin's numbers. The rodent numbers. The rodent numbers because you can't follow them. To mark the spot because he knows where they all go. He didn't get that name for nothing. And he used his name quite well with all the numbers that came along with it. The letter R is one of the greatest numbers that ever lived because R reaches 19. 19 both ways from go make 9/11. It's the only letter that can do that alone. No other letter can do it. The R also stands for 88. No other letter can do it. The R also stands for the 18,000 or the 18 draws that you're allowed to win. The R creates the Betamax cassette. If I can find a pen out of 100 pens I had. The Betamax cassette is basically here's the Betamax cassette. If I double this up, I'm going to be building a duck. A duck or an aqueduct? Agua is water. Duct is a passage for the ventilation or the water. O is water. OW is the sound of it. One and water and birth is all the same thing when you start looking at the letters a little bit more deeper. Now it says nothing. It means nothing to you. Why? Because you don't see it. You have to want to believe. You have to have the need within yourself to understand why you want to believe. It's amazing that, like I said, 11/11 right now just turned to 11/12 on the 11th month. But it's just amazing to think that Moses could have been on a far somewhere. It doesn't seem like it's real, but this is coming right now that we're learning all this because some of it doesn't seem real anymore. And some of the stuff that is real is not as real. I mean, Jesus Christ had to come in for the new numbers because everything adds up to 7 and 4. 7 by 4 is 28 months, is 28 days. 13 times in a year, you're left with 1.25. If 74 was Christ, who was 72? 72 is the B God. 2 by 7 is 14. 2 and 7 is 9, 23, the creation of the B God. 7 and 4 is the Christ. He comes in under 1, 4, and 7, where God came in under the number 2. So at this point, 13 is not lucky. But we're going to look at it a different way. The 13 comes in just one after waterwork, electric company. Just one before, it would be the cross and Rubik's Cube, which is one before Pennsylvania, the Liberty Tracks. Right next to, if I remember, states, community chest, Tennessee, New York, free parking, Kentucky, and then I think it's the blue chance, Indiana, Illinois, Dino Barack Obama. Then I think we have Ventnor. Then we have Waterworks. Then we have, I'm not quite sure which one it is. We have Marvin Gardens just next to go to jail. And on the other side, we have Pennsylvania, North Carolina. I'm not sure what the next one is. The next one is Short Lines, SNL, Spirit Light. That's all we need is the short line. All we do is go right to the center of the Monopoly. We go from here to here for the light. But don't forget, if we're down here on short lines, that's in the ground. So maybe it's upside down, the way we start in Monopoly, and it goes over here, go. The short line is over here, but then the short line comes from over here. Why is it a short line? Because we can go to reading, back to go, back to short lines, 505 Levi's. The Christ comes in at 3 and 3, but the mark is 5 and 5. We're short by 2. 2, 3, 4 is the 3 in the center of 303. 2, 3, 4, 24 on both sides at 24 hours a day. Somehow the mark of the seal which in French says the big fuck it, like the fuck kit that we come with, the king transformation, where we get crowned with this head over our pineal gland or the light, and then it goes right through our body. There's so many things. The new plane, 767, is actually a representation of 13, 13, and 13, 39. Again, one short of going on to go, one short of each space in Rubik's Cube totaling 3 of hitting the Christ symbol. One short of ending up on Boardwalk. But when you end up on Boardwalk, think of it. BW. Beta woman. BW. 2, 2, 3. 2 times 23 is 46. 46 is on the other side of 44, and the only way to get it is by the 45th president. Sounds confusing? It's very confusing. I'm alone doing this. I have to ask myself the same question over and over again, write and then throw it out. But remember, see the hole in the Scott towel? Imagine I cut it like this. I mean, I don't have to do anything. They already designed it for me. Don't you see what connects? This one connects, goes all the way down, and keeps going. Now all I have to do is put Mark Rodin's numbers into this, because this is perfect. Here's the O. You just keep slicing this up 15 times until you get there. You take 2 of these rolls and you unroll them. Isn't it great? Isn't it great? Isn't this better in a book? Isn't this better in a book? Look at this. Look at this. I can read 1, 2, 3, 5 pages at a time. So don't you think this is better than a book, than opening and closing a book, changing and looking for the pages? All you have to do is unroll it. Leave me alone. I'm reading 5 pages at once. I can go back now. I'm going back to this side. Oh, look, this is what happened. Oh, yeah, this is what I see. Plus, they should have, you always need a book with a book, so you can write down things in the book. I think we did this card in the last video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10. But it's a 7 card. J and G. Keeps telling me not any other God. The only thing it tells me is Jack, God. Now, how can Jack be God? Because I just told you. The 11th card is a J, and the Jack is the 10th letter is a J, and the 11th card is a J. Also, the K of King is also the 11th card. You have 11, 11, 10, 10, the same thing as the Monopoly again, coming into California. Now, it's confusing because they're trying to sell this to the people where the people have no money and everybody's complaining. So what's the trick? How are they trying to trick the people? It doesn't make any sense. Why would they want to sell something to somebody when they know everybody's already poor? Does it make any sense to you? While you're selling all these tickets, everybody who already has money doesn't need the money. And everybody that doesn't have money, they don't need this in their head. As another thing is, oh my God, we might win and get out of the hole. Well, let me tell you one thing. If you're only thinking about winning and you're not thinking about preparation, H, your head, prepare your mind for every step of every day. We know we can't run fast as the computers because the day runs 1,440 minutes. Which, there's another thing in that. I showed you, this one is the snowflake. This one's crossed off because he goes to jail. When the snowflake lands, okay, it'll either land here, 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 or here. It's always going to touch one, but don't forget, these lines extend and make the complete snowflake. Here's you looking one way, here's you looking the other way. 2, 4, 5, a 6-point star. 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 and 10 is 20, the 20 world we live. This star is in the center. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see this over here, the way it looks like an ace, and the same over here? You see these two wings? Anyways, I didn't want to count that. Seems like all I do is count. This is the tic-tac-toe made a little bigger, but I screwed up between here and here. The reason I did this is if you look at the angle from this point to this point, if I turn the game and draw it on the angle I'm supposed to, this part over here will connect to this part over here and one part over here on roulette, these three corners. And the numbers would be 8 and 11 black, making 19 of the moon, the black moon. 8 and 11 is 19, black moon. 8 is before, 11 is after. So you don't see the black moon. It's on the other side. It's the tunnel of the eggs. This is basically a combination of the North Star. This is the Magen David, if you really take a look at it. It's the Magen David with these lines. But this is what it's supposed to look like. Watching the worlds. God from above, 2. God from below, 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4 for the two worlds. Barack Obama. I wanted to find that last image. I don't know where it is. Even in pi. I'm trying to see where it is. I'm going backwards and forwards in my book, taking up 36 minutes, but it's all for me anyways. So one, 2, 4, 8, dot 7. Okay, this is part of Mark Rodin's numbers. I did something over here, but it doesn't serve of any purpose. Taurus. If you read the last part of Taurus, for us, Toys R Us, Angel Resident, there's an R that goes over here. It could say Torah. Torah's us. O is for the rust, R-U-S-T. The water is the rust stain, the water stain. Australian 7-point star, I don't know why that's in there. British Columbia, another part to watch. French, Greek, China, Russia, Malaysia, the flag, Brazil. I was just trying to look for points in the world because you have to set up this whole world like a Monopoly board. And going to jail could have been either A, staying in Asia, or coming out to North America. Tuna, 2 North Americas. There's another one in the world just like you. He's up, you're asleep. You're asleep, he's up. For 8 hours of the day, you're both up just about. Or at least 4 hours, whatever it is in Asia, whatever the time is. He's up, you're asleep. He's not feeling well, you're feeling fantastic. They play with his mind. He stays close to the matrix in Asia. And then we're out here. So they can play through his mind in towards the double matrix into us. Because we share the light. That's why we always got to think positive that something will happen. And if something happens twice, it usually happens a third time. Because you have the duplicate. Now it sounds all crazy. We all know that. We don't care what it sounds like. We're looking to build a game. When we finish the game, we figure the numbers, the words, the lines, the explanations, and the understanding between everything will come to a basic understanding of how all the games work and where we are in this world. Raphael 7286, thank you.